Okay, we're recording. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hiya.
Everybody, I know there's nobody brand new. Just to say, everyone, welcome back to Peter Adams, who has had a little time out from some amazing um, recuperation and surgery and stuff, and you're back with us and fighting fit and all the rest of it. And it's wonderful, Peter. Nice to see you. Yeah. Who else is here? Yeah, we've got all the good faces. Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Right. So, what I'd like you to do is have pen and paper to hand, because you are going to be working out what you're going to say to people. Okay, it's really important because can I say to you that preparation is half the way to confidence. When you're prepped and you know what you're going to say, you
Mm.
actually feel confident in yourself. And given that it's a phone call, I promise you, the people at the other end can't see what you're doing. They have no idea if you've got a script or not. And if you say it quite a lot, it actually becomes part of you. It becomes your words. It
Mhm.
becomes you as your character. And the most important thing is we must never be what we're not, because I promise you, the most important thing that people know is your authenticity. They smell a rat if they believe you're trying to be what you're not. Is that true or not? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because we all
Mhm.
know what we've got
Yeah,
is absolutely brilliant.
Mhm.
But the reality is that isn't necessarily what is going to get you, excuse the expression, because we all know everything's on Zoom, but you know when I say in the door, you know what I mean. It
Yeah.
means that it's going to lead to an appointment. They've got to actually um, have some rapport with you, and the big word is they've got to trust you. They've actually got to trust you to even want to take it further. Otherwise, and I'm not saying it's every time, but when you're getting cancellations and postponements, can I tell you what the real agenda is? This is really rotten what I'm about to say, but it's true. Invariably, it will be that you didn't make a strong enough impression for them to want to follow through. And the reason I'm going to say that is this is a good old thing that Steve Critch has always told me. He used to say, Lisa, you know when we used to have all our events, our trainings and our ops? This is really relevant. He used to say, Lisa, imagine if you told all those people that you invited that there was going to be, let's say, for argument's sake, £1,000 in fresh £20 notes handed to them at the door. He said, out of maybe your 10 guests, how many do you think would turn up? And I'd say 10. He said, yes, they would. He said, because the proposition is so compelling, they'd want to be there. So, what we've got to do is make the proposition so compelling that they won't want to miss that appointment. Does that make some sense?
Mm.
Now, I know that's really tough, what I've just said, because some of you now are thinking, oh, I must be so useless at this. It's not. It's we're learning, and how, we've got to make a really good impression on someone that they think, oh, I don't want to miss that. I really don't want to miss out. And that's why what we say in that conversation is essential stuff. And in the utility warehouse training, there are some really, really good essential skills that we should never let go of. And I'm going to go through those items that are going to be there. So, first of all, do you all have notes and a pen and you're ready to rock and roll? Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So, let's, what I'm going to do first of all is do a run through of a typical call. Now, it's no good me doing role play because that is just not going to wash. All right. And role play is false by its very nature. Yes, it's false.
Oh, Lisa, I wanted to be the difficult customer.
Well, maybe, James, you can afterwards, all right? But what I'm going to do is I've written some notes here to say to you, I've got to give you a scenario that's real to me, because I can't go back to being a brand new distributor because it just isn't authentic. Okay. So I'm a very long way down the line. I'm 18 years into this. It's a long, long time. So from that perspective, that side of it for me comes into it. Okay. So I showed somebody earlier on. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've got a little good old fashioned book here with business cards in it. Ooh, oh, where's my camera? Well, I've lost me now. There we are. Yeah. Right. Then I have got piles and piles of business cards. I mean, it's huge. And these are cards that I have collected over the years as I've been to business networkings, fetes, fairs, and whatever. And some of them I'm going to share with you are 16 years old and older. So I've decided I have exhausted my WHAM lists. I really have. I have exhausted my 600 plus database to keep going back and asking for referrals. There is a point at which you could become a bit of a pest, and I don't wish to do that, because I have a good relationship with so many of my customers that they would willingly ring me up and give me a referral. Okay. And I don't feel you can push. So what I decided to do was I'm going to ring these people. Now, I've been doing this, okay, and I've got I know, guys, I'm really old fashioned. I'm not into the technology. I have a book and you're seeing me write names because, do you know what? I can instantly refer to it. And I always think to myself, if technology goes down, do you know what? I've still got hands on. It's really old fashioned, but there you go. And also because my brain functions that way. It's just my makeup. Now you might have all sorts of lovely, you might be using the list builder and all of that. I don't knock it. If that's what's good for you, great. You use what's good for you. But I started on Monday and I started making phone calls. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, quite a lot of people weren't in. And on Monday, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I made 12 calls. All right. I was at it about an hour and a half. And I'll tell you something, somebody inspired me on Rob's Thursday morning. And he's in the team and his name is Jonathan Horswell. And Jonathan talked about his power hour. And I actually commented that I thought it was rather good. He said he gets it over and done with in the morning. He does about an hour of calls and whatever, sometimes it will come off, sometimes it won't, but it's actually getting him appointments which are turning into customers or partners. And he said, once I've done my power hour, I feel good. The rest of the day is for me to do what I want with. Brilliant. And I thought, you know, that's a really good philosophy. And that power hour could be any part of the day, couldn't it, that we choose? But actually, when you've given yourself that hour, and I'm promising you, when you first start making the calls, the first couple, oh, do you know what? I'm as rusty as anybody. You know, do you ever feel you get your mucking words fuddled? Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes that happens to me. All right. And the reality is, at first, you're rusty, but you've got to get through the rustiness. You know, that jumping out of the comfort zone into the what we call the adventure zone. You've got to move with it. Otherwise, you never progress. So the first few are pretty awful. But if you plan your script, actually, a lot of that can be alleviated and it instantly gives you confidence. So starting out, you make the phone call and let's say, hurrah, they answer. Now, I know inside some of you go, panic, heart thump. Oh my God, they've answered. All right. But now this is where the fun begins. Okay. So I've said here, and I always do it, what you must never do is start a conversation and don't instantly say who you are. Because I promise you, that person at the other end, the only thing they're thinking of is, who are you? Who are you? Is this a cold call? Is it a sale? Oh, is it one of those rotten companies? You don't say who you are, I promise you, you could even get the phone go down straight away. Now, given that I've been making these calls, some of them were 16 years since I last spoke to them. Isn't that terrible? But I've rung and I've said, hi, this is Lisa, Lisa Ware. Now, this is something we were taught years ago. Jim and Annette, I know Kev Farwell, Tom Rankin, some of you experienced distributors know this is an important thing. You say your first name, then you repeat your first name and say the surname. And then I say to them, you've got to give them a reference of why you've even rung them. And I would say something like, oh, do you know what? On so-and-so, we met at, and in this case, one of them was, for years I was in the Bournemouth Breakfast Club, and you very kindly wanted to ensure you gave me your business card. And that gives them a point of reference. I promise you, as soon as you let them know where you've been met, you will almost hear their body kind of go, ah, okay? Because now it's not a cold call, and that's so important. Yeah. So I say on every occasion here, you gave me. Now there's a reason. I might have asked for the card, but actually by me saying you gave me, it puts the ball in their court and they feel, oh, she must have been a bit important to me. Okay. So there's a bit of psychology behind it all. So then I'll say to them, this is a business call. Please get that one out. Really important. This is a business call. However, it's such a long time since we spoke. How the damn hell are you? Or whatever you would say. Oh my gosh, how are you? Because they know it's a business call, but now you're showing a genuine interest. Isn't that important? How's things? What's going on with you? Oh, what about, isn't it strange times? What are you up to now? Please write these questions down, okay? Alan P says, questions are the answers. The more you ask questions and stumm when they talk, the better this will be. You are not aiming to make a call and get straight off a call. In this instance, you are out to build rapport. You are out to find out about them. And I don't know what garden path that it will take you down with each person, but I can give you an example of one. And I will go through this because I think it's really actually poignant. I rang a lady and I met her at the Verwood Rotary Rustic Fair. And I met her back in, hang on, let me get it, this one. I met her because the one thing I've always been good at, and by the way, take this one on board. If someone gives you their card, write down where you met and the day. Otherwise, it has no relevance. That's a top tip, real basic, right? So she and I met in 2015, August. All right. So I said, Laura, I said, addicted to cakes. I said, are you still making your cakes? And she went, oh gosh. She said, Lisa, I know who you are now. The name rings a bell. I said, yes. I said, I was another stall holder round the corner from you. And I said, I bought a load of cakes and you gave me a card. I said, are you still making cakes? She said, well, only for the family. I said, oh, so what are you up to now? And she went, oh, well, And I said, I know things have changed dramatically this last year, but I said, what's going on in your life? I said, I actually said, have you got a moment to spare? She went, yeah, I have. She said, oh, well, I'm a teacher. Now, I'm going to be honest with you all, guys. I didn't know she was a teacher. I obviously wasn't clever enough at the time to have written that down, but I played along with it. You do, don't you? And I said, oh, yes, Laura. She said, well, I'm really hating it now. And I said, oh, that's awful to hear. I said, because it's such a vocation. And she said, I know, but she said, it's all changed, Lisa. She said, I don't like this teaching from home. She said, it's awful. And she said, I've got 3 of my own. She said, it's an absolute nightmare. And I went, oh, gosh, Laura, how are you coping? And I let her pour forth. She spoke to me for a good 5 minutes just about the pains of what it's like to be a teacher working from home. And I said, gosh, Laura, I said, that is crazy, absolutely crazy. I said, I can really understand all of it. I said, well, I said, sort of bringing it back. I said, I'll be honest with you. I've got a pile. And I said, when I say a pile, I said, it could be as many as 200 business cards that over the last years people have given me. And I said, like you, I said, life has changed dramatically. And I said, it's so much harder working from home. And I said, what I've decided to do, that wouldn't it be a great thing? Now, I'm sorry, guys, I can't say this slowly because it's coming out of my mouth as I said it to her. And you might want to make some brief notes here. And I'm glad I'm recording. I said, well, because of all the changes, because of the pandemic, I said, our lives have changed too. And I said, I've been helping folk. Now, what I want you to do is, the words that I'm about to say are very important because it's insinuating that it's already happening and working well. That's called confidence building. I said, well, I'm helping people and supporting many folk that otherwise are finding it difficult with the pandemic. And for a lot of folk, another few £100s a month coming in makes all the difference, because some have been furloughed, some people have actually even been made redundant, some have lost their small businesses. And I said, these calls I'm making have turned out to be a godsend. And I said, I wasn't quite expecting it to be like it was. So I said, I'm glad I've rung you now, Laura. And she said, yes, I am too, Lisa. So I said, well, there's 2 sides to what I do, as you know. I said, there's the helping people make money. And I said, there's the side that just reduces people's bills. I said, on both sides, it's a positive, because the person I speak to and help actually wins, and they can win 2 ways. To which she said to me, well, we're customers of UW. Right? Not through me. Okay. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. I said, have you got all the services? Oh, yes, she said. I said, oh, do you make use of cashback? Yes, she said, I love the cashback. I said, oh, that's brilliant. So I said, have you got the UK's cheapest energy prices, because you've got one of every type of service? And then she went, oh, what do you mean? I said, well, have you got at least one energy? Have you got at least one mobile? And have you got phone and broadband? Oh, yes, she said. I said, oh, well, that's fantastic. Have you? And then I said, have you got the LED bulbs? No. I said, you haven't? She said, no. So I then explained that. I said, oh, gosh. I said, this call is already turning out to be another helpful call. I said, for that alone, I'm so pleased. I said, well, of course, the pandemic at the moment, I think they've halted actually fitting them. But I said, as soon as there's any restrictions lifted, they'll be back out again. I said, you guys are missing out. I said, it could be worth between £300 and £500 for you. Oh, she said, how wonderful. And I said, you're entitled to them. She then all of a sudden said to me, Lisa, she said, actually, years and years ago, my husband had a go at doing what you do. I said, oh, is he still a partner? no, he gave up. He ended it all. I said, oh, how long ago? Oh, she said, I don't know, could be 7 years ago. And I said, oh, right. I said, so can I ask you something? Laura, would you guys keep your options open to having some more income then? By the way, those words, did anybody recognise they're straight out the script?
Right.
Can I just say to you, if something works, don't change it. I promise you, I've been using that. It really worked. I said, do you keep your options open to having some more income? She said, well, yes. She said, actually, Lisa, do you know what? This could be something for me. And I said, well, it might, Laura. I said, obviously, I don't expect you to make any decisions right now. I said, I tell you what, Laura, I've got an idea. Could I send you a little 2-minute video for you to watch? I said, and it will kind of give you some gist of this all. And I said, I can follow through and I can answer all your questions because you're bound to have a lot more. And she went, yeah. I said, and this is my go-to every time because it's so quick. I said, do you use WhatsApp? She said, yes, I do. So I said, this number I'm ringing you on, the mobile number, I said, I can send you a WhatsApp. She said, yeah. I said, well, look, I tell you what, Laura, let's start with that. I said, make sure hubby rings up about the LED bulbs. And I said, I'll send you that little video. She said, yeah, I'd like that. And she went, oh, thanks for your call. I said, no, I'm really glad I've made it. I said, I am discovering that all these calls are very worthwhile. So does that give you guys a little scenario
Yeah.
of stuff?
Yep.
Now, I promise you, I was on the phone to her at least, I could say possibly 15 minutes. So this isn't a quick thing. So I wouldn't recommend doing this on a calls blast. Otherwise, you're going to hold everybody else up. All right, this has got to be done in your own time. But what I will say is I'm about to follow through with Laura and I will call her because I said, you're bound to have some questions. I'll answer them. And anyway, I'd love to know what you like best. I'd love to know what you like best about the video. Because
Which video is that, Lisa?
Right,
Is that
well, there's now about 20 UW stories. And by the way, if you haven't done it, I mean, I'm a filer extraordinaire. So in my phone, I use an app which is free called Evernote. And I have notes and notes and notes of different things all the time. And in my Evernote, I've got one that says Zoom links. And I've got the, It's Your Life, the online magazine, Partner Magazine. I've got UW Stories. I've got every Zoom link of anything that's Rob's Zoom link on a Thursday morning. I've got Stuart's Zoom link, everything. Everything is in there so I can get to it quickly. UW Stories is simple. It's uwstories.co.uk. It brings you to the page where all the different ones are. Now, I find it. Would you like to see that? Would you like me to put that into the share a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Right, just bear with me. Right, can you see Google, guys?
Yeah.
Right, if I type in UW, there we go, stories. And hey ho, look, there's one there. It's already actually prepped because I've done it. Teachers. Now, that's the one that I send to Laura because it would make sense to send that one. Because she'll have affinity with it, won't she? Because these are teachers. And in fact, if you then go to the end and you just take off that bit and have UW Stories, guys, look, here they all are.
Oh, wow. Wow.
There's more than 20 now.
Wow.
1, 2, 3.
I've never
4.
seen that before.
Have you not?
No,
Right. So 4, 8, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of them. 19.
So Lisa, from Google, how do you put that onto WhatsApp?
Yes. Question.
Would you like to see me do it? Would you like to see me do it? Right. As it happens, I've got WhatsApp on this computer as well. So you can see it all happen. All right. So let's take the teachers. So take a look.
Yeah.
Now, please note, if you want to send to SMS, ordinary text,
Yeah.
Messenger, that's Facebook Messenger,
Yeah.
So
WhatsApp,
how have you got them on there then?
no, that
Yeah.
comes up. It comes
Oh,
up.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And then
Okay.
there's the
Okay.
link. Now, can I
What?
show you what I actually do? Every time, personally, I press the link. Now there's the link. So all I do is press copy.
Yeah.
It's copied to my clipboard. So watch this, guys. Hopefully, I think you'll still see this. Have you now seen? Are you seeing my WhatsApp?
No.
No.
Right, hang on. Now you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could
Yeah.
be on my phone, but I've got it on my computer. So now I pick my person. Now, what I'll be doing, of course, is finding a name. So let me go to Laura. I know. So sorry. I've got to be careful here because of.
No, don't worry.
There she is. And now I'll let you see what I sent to her. So, dear Laura, it was lovely chatting earlier, and I'm glad I called, even if it's to help you receive your free LED light bulbs throughout your home. Do watch this 2-minute video that may just be a great way to bring in as much as another 250 to 350, 2 hours work for reducing one person's bills. There's the link. Would love to know what you like best about this new video. Best wishes, Lisa Ware. It's a senior group leader and it's got my mobile number. All right.
So how do you get WhatsApp on your computer?
You just download it.
Right. Okay. Okay.
You've got to log in from your phone to the computer every time you open it on the computer.
Not necessarily, no.
No.
Well, yeah, okay. If you open it on one device,
Yeah.
to open it on a different device, you've got to log off the first one. And then
No. Donna, I'll have a word with you afterwards, okay? About that.
Stories.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So guys, I tell you what. I'll just stop that share a minute. I tell you what I'm seeing. There's little things that perhaps folk don't know that I thought are basic things. So it's really good. I'm glad I've brought that in because that's maybe something you're not aware of. I am constantly sending UW stories all the time to people.
Oh yeah, now.
Is that the first thing you do when they express an interest?
Well, I tell you what, learning from the really what I call the really true experienced people, like
Real people.
Steve Critchley, Wes Linden, Robin Brooks, and all of them. All the time I'm picking up, you don't want to bombard them with a load of stuff. You want to do it in little bits, bit by bit by bit. Now, there is something I would love to show you all, but I've got to be so careful because otherwise I'm giving people's names away. But I brought in a lady that we did her first appointment last night. And I promise you, it was bit by bit, drip by drip by drip. Now, it's tempting to just go in there like a bull in a china shop and what we call verbally diarrhea over them. But I've learned it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
You've got to kind of tempt them with a little bit of a morsel of something that kind of, oh, that's nice. And then you tempt them with a bit more and you gradually tempt them. And then all of a sudden it's like their interest is there. Because let's also be honest, folks, what you don't want to do is have someone you bring in that is kicking and screaming every step of the way. You want it more for them than they want it. Yeah? You want it that they have a genuine interest and they're excited. That's how it should be. And by doing it this way, I promise you, it really works. I tend to do UW stories. And then when they've said, yeah, because a lot of the time I put things like, and when you've seen this, I've got some more info if you're interested. And then I've seen this, I'm interested. So then I send them to an op, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays. I send them to an op. That's the next stage. If they're still interested, because you always say, I'll call you afterwards and find out what you like best. There you are, straight out the horse's mouth. these are the words I use. This is what I've learned to use. It works. So, you know, I'll call you and find out what you like best. And then you get the gist that they're right. What you must not do is persuade people and kind of wheedle your way that they want to join. It's got to be that they want to join. Yeah. So going back now, looking at yourself, what type of person are you calling? Is it from the past? Is it from a Win a Mini event? Is it from people that you've come into contact with? Think about the stages of what you're going to say. Have you all written some notes about what I said during that? Has it helped? Can you apply that stuff to yourself? Because we can't, if we did it all individually, it would be several weeks. But what you might like to do is get it written down. If you wish to, can I suggest that you can send it to your upline? Now, if you haven't got an immediate upline that's really helpful, please send to me and I will happily look over. All right. And then maybe help you perhaps tweak it, because I want you to feel that confidence. When I make those calls, I'm almost like having a bit of fun with them. I'm enjoying it. It's not kind of like oh, this is a battle. I actually have a bit of fun. I'm chatting away to them, and I suppose you could say I'm befriending them.
Yeah. Lisa, can I tell a very quick story? One of the people
Where are you? Where are
James.
you? Oh, there you are, over here. Sorry, there's a lot of you. Carry on.
I don't remember when we signed up Miles, when you helped us do that in the early days. Miles, or a friend, let's call him a friend rather than give a name. His mother had passed away the day before, and I phoned him up just to express sympathy. I had no intention whatsoever of talking about UW at such an, sensitive time for him. Anyway, we spoke for about an hour about life and everything else. And I dropped it into the conversation. He said, I could be interested in that. It was very easy. I hadn't even intended to mention it, but I think if it comes naturally, it's just so much easier and better for both the us and the person listening.
Yeah, and it has to. I did say, and I do mean this. When you remember, when you're making these calls, though, remember to say this is a business call to start with.
Yeah.
But then backtrack, and can I give you the psychology of that? The reason why. If you don't at the start and mention that it's a business call, if you go round the houses, and I've heard this on so many occasions with so many people, so you talk about the world and his wife and their horses and everything else, yeah, and then you come in with, and by the way, the reason I'm calling is, do you know what they feel? They feel like you've deceived them. You've cheated. You've actually, you've kind of almost conned them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're up front and say it's a business call and then backtrack and say, but how's life and all the rest of it, they're always realizing it was originally, you did quite openly say it was a business call. Yeah. Okay, guys, mute if you want to unmute a minute. Anyone got any questions? Throw some questions at me.
Can I just ask you where you find on the portal the magazine, the new one to download?
Right. What I'll do after this, I'll send it to you, Roz.
Thank you. I do find the portal quite hard to find anything.
I'll tell you what, let's just go onto my portal a minute. Let me find, right, let me get rid of that. Let's go onto my, are you seeing copy link?
No.
Not yet. You are now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so let me now, hang on. Okay. So let me go partner portal.
Well, I get that a lot.
I get it all the time. I don't know why. Right, by the way, This is not my portal, because my portal looks very different to your portal, being at my level.
Mm.
But this is most people's. Okay, so if we go to the learning portal, see the A to Z.
Yeah.
This is the best way to find stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if we can. What was it we're looking for here? What was it? The
New
magazine.
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 Right, let me have a look. Social media, no.
What's it called? Life.
It's your life.
It's your
It's
life.
your life.
Right, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back one.
I find a lot of search. It's not a search bar. Yeah.
Did you see me click search?
Yeah.
That doesn't always help.
Is it still called It's Your Life magazine? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so.
Problem is, if you can't remember it's called that.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
No, it's called UW Life. Here it is. I've got a box of them.
Ah,
They're in the marketing
Oh,
box.
they've changed the name of it. What's it called, Mel?
UW Life.
UW Life, be
Oh, so
part
you-
of something bigger.
Do you know what? I didn't even know that.
You see that?
UW Life bigger.
Okay. It says UW Life, and then at the side, be part of something bigger.
Nah, that's fine. UW Life. Let's have a look. See. UW Life. Right. Click there. Oh, that's no damn good, is it?
no, you want
That
you
line
only
was
had
wrong.
it, Lisa.
I have actually got
Ah.
the link, and what
It's-
I'll do is I'll make sure I send it to you all. All
It
right.
says what is UW Life right at the bottom of the page. There, halfway up.
Oh, here we. Oh, there it is, guys. You can buy it at the shop. That you wanted to know that, didn't you? uw.co.uk/partner/shop. But that isn't what you're after.
No.
You're after You Partner magazine. Hang on.
Do they have a thing called downloads or something?
There you are.
No,
Yay!
no, it's not quite the same. No, sorry.
There you go.
All
There
the
it is.
Studios.
Well done, Lisa.
All right, it's there. And I've only just found that literally by finding it with you. Okay. So it is there. Right, there's something I had got ready and I wanted to show you. And you've probably seen it 1,000 times, some of you may not. And this is the memory jogger, and this is on
yes.
the partner portal. Because I don't believe that most people ever actually go through this. And if they did, do you know what? They'd be agog at how many names they'd come up with.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you sat down and started going through it, you would all of a sudden go, oh gosh, there's so many people I know and I didn't realize. So there's something to help you. Also, this is on the partner portal. Let me make sure it's in the share. And this is UW Scripts. I'm just going to make it a bit smaller because there we go. And there is some scripts, very basic scripts that people get at the beginning, but there's some good points in them. But what I'm going to say to you is, and I'm just going to come off of that, don't be too scripted. I'm on about making a script, but what I mean is have it down, but try and be yourself. Because
Absolutely.
it's your personality, the fun, the jokes, the laughter that I have with people. In fact, Juan says when he sometimes comes in and he said, Lisa, I hear you in there. He said, almost laughing all the time. And that actually, laughter is contagious, it's positive, and that's what we've got to do with folk. Otherwise, it becomes a bit grim, a little bit business officious, and you don't want that. You want to get away from business and officious. You want to be a nice person that they want to talk to. Now, the last bit, are we all right? We've just overrun a minute by a minute. Can I just finish the last bit off with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the power moment. to get the call to stay, to get the appointment that will not break. So everything goes into place, whatever you're going to do. Say you're out to make your appointment. You then want to bring it back and say to them, now look, I'm sure you're really busy. I'm really busy too. Let's set a good time and date that nothing will get in the way, so that I can be as give you as a greater, it might be a comparison or whatever it is you're going to do, that I want to set this time aside, and it's really important that we get this in, that nothing's going to get in the way. Then you go back to basics, guys. Offer them 2 dates and times, because the brain functions well when it is given choices. Do not say, are you available next week? Will not work. They'll just go, I'm busy. So you come down to something like, well, I've got tomorrow evening, you know, because a lot of you might be able to say, can that be mornings, evenings, afternoons, or whatever? Yeah. And then I'll say, okay, so I've got tomorrow evening or I've got Friday evening. Which one's best for you? Yeah. Then you bring it down to time. And now this is where I help them think. Because a lot of people don't think. They get off the phone and they go, oh, I made that time and I forgot about so-and-so. So here we are. This is the clever stuff. So then you say, so would that be before dinner or after dinner? Have you got the kids to put to bed? Would it be better after the kids are in bed? Is there anything going on that might get in the way? And even when you've then got the appointment in place, and this is something that you know, the ones that do Win a Mini, we know that whatever you've got in place, this is the moment that you pause and you say to them, okay, so that's Thursday the 21st, 7 o'clock. Are you sure that's okay? There's nothing that's going to get in the way. You remind them again, is there anything that's going to get in the way? That moment that you do that, instead of in your heart going, I've got an appointment, I've got an appointment. No, no, no. This is consolidating. This is the moment that makes the difference. So then they go, oh, actually, do you know what? Hubby will be coming in then. I've got to get his tea or whatever it might be, and say, all right, look, let's rearrange this to a really proper time. And by the way, hubby needs to be there. I'd like you both to see. Then you go back to the basics again, 2 choices, and pin it down. Now, at the moment that you finally get the choice, you've then got to say, so right, that is, in this instance, Thursday 21st, we're saying 7 o'clock. Now look, I'm going to put everything else aside. I'm setting this time aside, especially for you. That means that I will work around this. What you're effectively doing is saying to them, don't you dare let me down. But you're not saying that. You are saying, I'm putting this time aside, especially for you. I'm going to work around it. I'll build all my other appointments around it. So it's really important that we both realize that this is set in stone. Now, if you wanted to be really hard, and I can't do this one, all right, but some could. I've known, Craig told me this, Craig Casey, he has said, do you know what? Dentists charge 25 quid for a missed appointment. Because if you think about it, would somebody actually cancel an appointment if it was going to cost them 25 quid? They wouldn't let you down, would they? Just like that. But how easily do we just give in to all of this? Actually, what's the most valuable thing we've got? It's our time.
Time.
Yeah, it's our time. And
Yeah.
like this moment now, every one of you, all of us have given up this time to do this. There's so many other things that could be done, but we've given this time up. So does that sort of consolidating bit really help?
Yeah.
Now, here's the other big question. Do you contact them before the appointment? Now, I try not to make appointments 2 weeks or more in advance. I try to keep it maximum 1 week. But you're also ensuring that they're writing it. I will say, are you writing it in your diary? Is it on your calendar? Because that's another way of making sure that it's there. As we're not driving, it's better because we're not wasting perhaps an hour's drive or something like that and petrol. However, I do believe if you've done a good job on consolidation, there should be no reason whatsoever that you cannot just make sure and confirm that morning. And I usually do something on the lines of, I will drop them a WhatsApp or I'll phone them and say, by the way, I'm all ready for tonight. Everything else is built around it. I set the time aside. Still okay? Because what you want to do is an assumption that this is in place. This should help you honestly keep appointments better. It's the consolidation that's really important. Yeah. Has that stuff helped, folk?
Yes, lovely.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know what? I said 40 minutes. I was wrong. We needed a bit more, really. I was just that because it's actually yes, Jim, Annette.
Yeah, I've got one little thing on the UW stories. Can you share your screen again?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Not on the UW stories, on the UW Live. Can you put in your search bar, your URL bar, UW Live?
Perhaps if I type the word live.
Yeah.
Ah. That's shopping. Oh, there it is. Silverback Studios.
That's it. Click on that.
Oh, look at that, guys. How helpful is that?
Yeah.
Wow, that was quicker, wasn't it? What was that?
That's a lot better than all the feffing around on the partner portal. So write that down, guys. A nice top tip from Jim. UW
So what
Live.
was it? UW Live.
Just that.
Live.
That's all I did.
Into Google.
Yeah.
No, well, I didn't do it in Google. I do everything straight into my search bar. I literally wrote UW
Yeah,
Live
that's what I meant. I meant the search bar. Sorry, Lisa.
there, and it's the one that's
Silverback Studios.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. The other thing is if people are so inclined, I will put my links on as bookmarks on my Google bar.
Yeah.
And that stops me needing to search.
Good idea.
Yep. There we go, folks. A little bit more help. Now, next week is back to Tuesday, 4:30. I always throw it open to you guys. What would you like more support on? What's your burning issues?
I wonder about how to make more out of social media, because I'm a bit new to Facebook and that kind of thing. So I'm not quite sure.
Mel, you're talking to the wrong lady here. I am the world's worst. I'm putting my hand up and say there are other people far superior at that than me. It just isn't my bag. I've got one customer out of social media and I can't claim to be clever at this. There is lots of stuff that has already been on there about social media. I tell you who's excellent, and that's Alexandra Roberts. And I think, have they not saved that one on the partner portal? Because she was actually used in the Wes used her on the big kickoff, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was played, and Mel, it was played about 3 or 4 times afterwards. She's an absolute guru. She's brilliant. I'll tell you what, I'll ask Wes if he's still got it as a recording, because it would be worthwhile. She's absolutely brilliant. And there's moments when you have to put your hand up and say, this isn't what I'm good at.
Lisa, can I just say something about social media? Because I'm
Yeah.
big into social media. But I don't know if you've heard that Rob arranged some courses with somebody called what's her name? Beth Fitzgerald. And
Yeah.
so I'm in contact with Beth, and she would quite like to do another one, maybe even just focusing on Instagram and LinkedIn or whatever we wanted. Because personally, I don't use Twitter. I just can't get into Twitter. But I know Beth is very happy to do another one, because I was going to try and get my team members on it. But I'm sure it could be posted in the True Savings group. And I
Yeah.
think she only needs 5 or 6 people. And it was £10 a session. And so if you thought your weak spot was, say, Instagram, she doesn't even mind if you just do that one, but she was very good. I mean, I use it anyway, but I picked up a few tips.
She did a whole session all on Instagram, about Instagram. Now, I haven't even got an Instagram account, and it was kind of stuff that went, again, see, straight over my head. But for some folk, this is everything.
Well, I have to say, my last probably 6, 7 customers, and my last, I would say, the same partners, they've all come from social media.
Right.
All come from, for me, it comes from Instagram and LinkedIn.
Well, then that's a really good thing. Mel, what I'll do is I'll find out about that for you. All right?
Thank you.
Right, guys, we got to go. Okay. Because I've
Thanks,
kept you all
Lisa.
longer than expected. Would you private message me, WhatsApp or whatever, what you'd like, because this is all about what you want for you. Okay?
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But put it
Thanks,
in your
Lisa.
diary, 4:30 Tuesday.
Thank you
Oh,
so
and don't
much.
forget tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, it's Rob. All right?
Thanks.
Bye.
Can't do that.
Thank you,
Okay.
Lisa.
Thanks,
Bye
Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye.
Thanks for letting me join in, Lisa.
Oh, you're most welcome, Debbie. Thank you for your bit there. All right?
All right. Okay, nice to see you. Bye for now.
Bye,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.